Erik, I know you always say you have enough, but between the attrition and just the talent of this Celtics team this season, what was it like pushing through 5 games and especially trying to push through tonight?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we're not going to put this on the fact that we've had some injuries. Let's not take anything away from Boston. They've been the best team in basketball all season long, and in this series, in 4 of the games, they played as such. That had nothing to do with the injuries. Had nothing to do with guys that are available or not available. They played very good basketball, and they probably had something, to motivate them even more against us. But they played at a high level, and they will probably. I will not watch 1 minute of their games, but they'll probably do this, to several teams, from here on out. They've got a very good team. They know what they're doing, and they deserve this one.
In this situation, what does it say about Bam? It looked like he was going to play every second of the game until the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
and to come out also take as many shots as he did and carry the load.
I think I looked at a box score. We're down 1,000. So, I had every intention of playing him 48 minutes tonight if the game was within reach. He's Bam's a warrior. He'll battle, and he brought a competitive spirit tonight. But collectively, we were far from our best tonight. And again, you have to credit Boston. They took control of this game. You could sense that they wanted this to end right now, tonight, and not let this thing get back to Miami. That's a sign of a mature team.
I know it's early and not the moment necessarily, but this season, when you look back on it, is there a feeling of, after what happened last season, failing to measure up, or was this an unusual ride because of sort of how it played out along the way?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of everything. It's disappointing the way it ended. There are disappointing moments of the season. There are moments where I really thought that we grew from a lot of the adversity. And we'll have plenty of time, to go through the autopsy on the regular season. It was super competitive in both conferences, and 2 or 3 wins, could make monumental differences. I think to play Boston this year, I think we would have needed, 2 rounds to get better from the competition to somehow survive and advance the first round, survive and advance second round. By the time you get to the Eastern Conference Finals, you're a totally different team. From those experiences, we would have needed those experiences together and really earn some tough things, I think, to face this team, where they are now. But we'll never know. But in the first round, they were very good.
Erik, you mentioned that the Celtics you saw some maturity from the Celtics. Is that something that you're seeing in them this year that maybe you haven't in the past, that they're kind of growing into this?
Yeah, I don't know. The playoffs always will reveal. I thought they were really good last year. Going into our series in the conference finals, I had the utmost respect, for them and what they did all year. And, I think that was a perfect example. We were hardened, and we were much better from the play-in, the first round, second round. By the time we faced them, we were razor sharp and ready for that cage fight. But I'm sure they've definitely improved. The roster done a really good job with that, and they had a very good regular season.
Obviously, it didn't go the way you guys wanted to go, but what did you learn about Nico and Jaime just in this series, kind of them stepping into those roles?
I got to reflect. These experiences are important for Nico. And I think Jaime, has a little bit more experience, from a lot of college experiences. Nico, got a full education on how important every single detail every single possession, all of those things, how they really matter in the playoffs. And he'll be motivated to have a really important, productive offseason. He has to really get after it again. He made tremendous progress last offseason, the 6 weeks leading up into Summer League and then the World Cup, or the World Championships, and he'll need another summer like that. The Olympics will help, but I think getting a little bit of rest, getting healthy, getting away from it, but then building his body back up and then working on his player development and really preparing for that summer will be important as well. He's 20, so I always do need to remind myself of that. I hold him to an extremely high standard because our standards are not going to change. Our expectations are always going to be championship level expectations. And yes, I'm expecting him to rise to that. Is he there now? No. Am I going to stop driving him and pushing him? No. But I've been very encouraged by the progress that he's made, in particular in the last 12 months. He didn't play at all in last year's playoff run. And so really what you're talking about is June all the way until now, the type of progress he made has been pretty significant.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
1, 2,